The 13th Super League playoff series, it's kicking off with an eagerly awaited fixture at Nosey Road. 5 times champion St Helens face Warrington, who haven't won the title since 1955. Almost a perfect night, though. The heavens have just opened here at St Helens. This is the Saints team. Wellens at fullback, Foster, Gidley, Melly, Gardner, Wilkin, and a surprise recall for Matty Smith at scrum half. Forwards, Graham, Cunningham the skipper, Hargreaves, Flannery, Soliola and Pulatua. And on the bench, it's Roby, Clough, Dixon and Emmett. The coach is Mick Potter. For Warrington, Mathers at fullback, Riley, Bridge. So there's been a slight change to the Warrington lineup, with Bridge going in the centres and King on the wing in place of the injured Chris Hicks. Atkins is the other centre, then it's Breers and Monaghan. Up front, Morley, Clark, Carvel, Louis Anderson, Westwood and Harrison. That's the pack that won the cup. And on the bench, it's Richie Myler, Wood, young Michael Cooper and David Solomona. And the coach is Tony Smith. So the Warrington Wolves seeking to win at Nosey Road for the first time in 16 years. It's 23 consecutive defeats since a 21-11 win on the 16th of January 1994. Mike Gregory and Jonathan Davis were on the score sheet then for the Warrington club. They clinched the first ever Super League title 14 years ago, St Helens, by beating Warrington 66-14 here. It was the first past the post system then, Warrington's only influence on the destiny of the Super League crown. In 28 subsequent encounters, the best that Warrington have managed against Saints have been a couple of draws at the old Wilderspool ground. John Wilkin leads them onto the field today. He's playing at standoff. They have a crisis in the halfback division, do St Helens. There's no Price, there's no Eastman, and there is no Johnny Lomax either. But after what these St Helens supporters saw last Saturday, when Cunningham went over for the last-minute try, anything is possible. And it's a big night for this little fellow, Elliott. Elliott is a little fighter. He keeps proving all the doctors wrong, and he is hoping desperately to bring the Saints some good luck tonight to keep up their winning run against Warrington. He has been in and out of hospital over the past couple of years, most recently in June when he was very poorly, but he hands the match ball over to Richard Silverwood, and let's hope that Elliott has a very big night today. Elliott Lamb is his name. He is tonight's St Helens mascot. Richard Silverwood is the match referee. Coincidentally, he was in charge of the Cup quarter-final, the Cup semi-final and the Challenge Cup final that Warrington won each and every time. So the start of the playoffs in 2010, eagerly awaited with all the games to come. Foster gets us underway. And the next 3 days, Steve-O, will be very, very special.
Certainly will, Eddie, and I tell you what, this is going to be explosive. Both sides know that the forward pack have to start taking control, get over the advantage line, and of course both defences will be eager to stop them. St Helens coach Mick Potter fully aware the return of Matty Smith. They've got to give him space to settle down. You can only do that if your forwards are working overtime.
It's Warrington in possession and making some valuable meters forward there. It was Gareth Carvel working hard, John Clark to Westwood, and they know the threat that Ben Westwood poses in this Warrington side. Clark again gets the ball away, and Breers with an early kick, not looking for a 40-20, going down the line, asking Wellens to run the ball back at them. Clark leading the way with Morley, big hit from the Warrington skipper.
Great tactics there, Lee Breers, kicking on the fourth. They know that they've got to show their muscle. Kick and chase was absolutely superb.
Pulatua now for the Saints. There is Lee Breers, the Lance Todd Trophy winner at Wembley a couple of weeks ago. Here now Chris Flannery.
So important that both sides just settle down into it, don't panic. That's the one advantage that you'd have to have if, say, that St Helens tonight. They have the wood on the Warrington Wolves, they know that.
Deep kick from Matty Smith, finds Matt King.
All eyes are on Matthew Smith tonight, and he just pulled off that first tackle. and I'm fascinated to see which half of the game will be more difficult for him to adjust to back at the club. The attacking side when he's brought his team out possession, or when he has to defend. He's sitting outside Matthew Gidley here on the right-hand side, and at some point in time he will be challenged by big Ryan Atkins.
Well, that was a silly mistake by Soliola. That is one thing that Saints can't afford to do. Give the Wolves plenty of space and get into your opposition half, then you are in a lot of trouble. This guy will work overtime. Westwood has had a fantastic season.
Good hit though by Bryn Hargreaves on him. There's John Clark, pops the ball up for Adrian Morley. Morley taking on Cunningham, taking on Tony Pulatua. Brought to ground. Clark is the dummy half, centre field, midway inside the Saints half of the field. Clark with a good driving run again, and Gareth Carvel looks as though he's up for this. Here is Clark at dummy half, gets the ball away and finds Breers. Breers long pass out wide to Bridge. Bridge short then to King. He's in the corner as Matt King. First try to the Warrington Wolves. Matt King gets the first try of the playoff series 2010. He's been shunted out to the wing because of the late changes by Warrington. Chris Hicks pulled his back, lifting up his child at home today, so Bridge moved into the centres. King goes out to the wing, and immediately they get the reward. Matt King with the try.
Silly penalty given away by Soliola, going very, very high on Ben Harrison. Gave them the impetus, but gave them most importantly the position. This was a beautiful pass out wide from Breers, and that is a great finish. Nothing was going to stop them. What's the Saint defence? They point and then they hesitate. Wilkinson left in no man's land. Couldn't get the numbers across. King, he's had a fine season. They're off to a flyer.
Yes, they are. Matt King, his 18th try of the campaign. He averages these days a try every other game in 3 seasons in the Super League. He's enjoyed success in grand finals on the other side of the world, and he has got Old Trafford firmly in his sights, as has that man, Tony Smith, the Warrington coach. Jimmy Lowe sitting alongside him. Kieran Cunningham leading the debate behind the sticks for St Helens. It's a difficult first kick though for Ben Westwood with the conversion, and I noticed before the kick-off both Westwood and Chris Bridge were warming up and practicing their goal kicking. Westwood has had the job for much of this campaign. 44 goals so far, and that's not the best for the first effort, but it was very difficult from out there. But Warrington have the early lead 4-0.
Such an important player, Lee Breers. Look at the long pass out there to the centre. You can see Melly is just caught short, and they couldn't do anything about it. Gardner just went in slightly, and this man just went on the outside. He's a big unit.
Early try for Warrington, just in from a neutral's point of view, exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, exactly, and we see so often in Super League, you give away a penalty and teams have got their set pieces, but Matt King, fantastic. Consider the criticism that he received when he first came over. To have the season that he's had this year and be named in the dream team, I'm really, really happy for the guy because he's a fantastic player and a wonderful person as well, so he'll be looking for some more tries out on that right wing.
That's a high kick-off. Breers is safely underneath it, gives it to Adrian Morley, who saw the white wall coming towards him, led by James Graham. It's Clark who's the dummy half for Warrington. Gets the ball away to Westwood, but they are hunting in packs, this St Helens defence here tonight. Nearly 5 minutes gone. 4-0 to the Wolves. Harrison will drive it forward for them.
So important that you just keep your cool out there. You saw Soliola just lose it, give away a penalty. Lost 50 metres downfield. They paid the full price. Mick Potter, the Saints coach, he'll get the message out. Look, you've got to be in control.
That's a great run from John Clark, right up the middle he went with that, and he gets the penalty here. James Graham looks bemused. He says there was an elbow raised there by the Warrington man.
James, I just had a word at the kick-off about holding down. Second effort. Okay, we don't need any more.
Well, Graham was going low. It was a perfect tackle. And then he just said, well, it was. There was no doubt about it that Clark has ripped back with his right elbow. Had an incident last week, remember, Holland Leeds. Radford got himself sent off.
That was the first drive from Louis Anderson. Here comes Ben Harrison. Harrison gets to within 4 metres of the St Helens line. Clark waits again, pointing. Director of operations there, finds Monaghan. Monaghan then to Breers. Breers attacks the line, good ball to Mathers. Out wide it goes to Bridge. King is in again! Second move down that right wing. Second try for Matt King. Second try for Warrington. They're cutting Saints open down their left-hand side defence. And Matt King over for his second try, and James Graham, he gave away the penalty. And 3 plays later, Warrington over for the second try, and it's the big fella Matt King again. What a start for the Wolves here at the home of St Helens, where they have simply not been able to win in Super League before. Long way to go yet, but what a start.
Lose your control. No doubt in it that Clark has got the elbow straight into Graham. But sometimes the officials won't see it. He retaliates, they get the position, they got the penalty, and it's Breers yet again. Pass out wide, super combination. Mathers, Bridge, King, a duplicate of the first try. Superb stuff in wet conditions. They are playing quick hands. Not selfish, was he, Bridge? And a little bit of discussion with Clark, say we have seen it, but he didn't see it at the moment. Well, what a flying start from this fella. He's the king of the try scorers so far, that is for certain. It has absolutely stunned this home side.
So Ben Westwood, he had an attempt from exactly the same place just a few minutes ago. Tried to slide it low over the crossbar. What's he got in the box this time? It's gone the other side, the other way, but it went higher this time. So hooks one, slices one, but 8-0 Warrington.
And you have to be very worried if you are a St Helens supporter, because Warrington have made these 2 tries look so easily. It's fantastic skill. I'd like to see a side who can pass it so well rewarded with success, and they have that with 2 classic tries. But from a St Helens perspective, that's a little difficult to fix at this stage now.
Yeah, very difficult indeed, and I think, you know, very evident that they want to go at that left-hand side of the St Helens defence. Chris Riley, who's playing on the left wing, was actually over in the middle of the pitch, so they're overloading the numbers and allowing themselves to get extra men over there to make it difficult for Francis Mellon and Adi Gardner.
Well, exactly like Wembley, 2 early tries and no conversion. 8-0, the Warrington Wolves lead.
And
this is Morley.
Fully deserved as well. Lack of composure by St Helens. 2 penalties, conceded 2 tries, says it all. Simple, basics. And that's what the Wolves will get back to now. Good hard work in the forwards, trying to get over their halfway line. They've got the great kicking game from Breers, Monaghan.
There's a deep kick to open space, and Foster has to chase this. Monaghan is looking for him, and so too is Anderson. That's a wonderful kick and chase. Absolutely wonderful kick and chase from Warrington. Breers the kicker, Monaghan and company the chasers.
Wonderful tactics yet again. But I've got to say that Foster just doodled around. He could have got there a little bit quicker than that, and I'm sure that his coach, Big Potter, thought so as well. OK, it's wet conditions, but that is sensational. He's bossing the game yet again. He did exactly the same at Wembley. The tactics are superb.
Ball skims off the turf into Breers, who gives it then to Morley. Down he goes on the tackle. You know, if playoff success goes hand in hand to the team with fewest injury problems, Warrington are in tremendous position this year. They could even afford to go with Richie Myler again on the bench, just as he was in the Challenge Cup semi-final. And of course they have had a little bit of pre-match injury disruption to cope with as well, but doesn't seem to have changed the script. Here is Ryan Atkins. He's had a wonderful first season in the colours of the Warrington Wolves. Clark is the dummy half. Back it comes to Monaghan. They're going down that way again. Breers, short ball this time. Westwood clattered to the ground by the tackle from Soliola. Oh, a dummy half kick from Clark. He finds Mathers. Mathers humps it high, looking for Riley. Riley claims it. Does he? No, he doesn't. Foster comes up with it.
He made up for it there. Foster, he was slow on that previous kick and chase, but that is a great leap. They were very slow there, Warrington. They didn't realise they couldn't get a dummy half in that one, and this is Clark. He knew he couldn't bend down and get the ball. Quick thinking there by John Clark. Just boots the ball away.
Perfectly legal, of course. Nothing to stop him doing that. John Clark revelling in the end of the season here. He's been almost anonymous during 2010 at Warrington, but hasn't he come back at just the right time?
Certainly has. It's not how you start, Eddie, it's all about where you finish, and that will be a very relieving penalty.
First one for Saints. Boy, they need this.
Yeah, Chris Bridge messing around. You can see they're trying to just turtle him, stop the quick play of the ball.
So here comes St Helens now with Soliola. That's a big hit by Carvel.
Looked a bit high as well, but Richard Silverwood, the official, said it was okay.
Cunningham flicks it to Pulatua. It's a wonderful opening 10 minutes for the Warrington Wolves. Their supporters, though, will not be counting any chickens yet. Here is Matty Smith. Matty Smith on the inside. It goes to Wellens. That's a good run from him. 3 tackles gone. They're 19 metres away from the Warrington line. Matty Smith again. Back it comes to Wilkin. He finds Gidley. Gidley has lost the ball, and it's a knock-on, says the referee. Big hit by Atkins on that Gidley.
Tremendous ball and all. Wasn't the best pass, though, I must say, from John Wilkin.
Must say, Ryan Atkins has had a great year at Warrington. Phil, are you surprised he didn't make the dream team, Ryan Atkins?
I hadn't analysed too much that dream team, really. I was thinking more, I mean, the dream team is about an individual selection of a player in a position. I think what we forget sometimes in sport, it's about combinations of players. And I think the combination he's found with his winger this year is something that sometimes isn't judged necessarily when you're picking an individual dream team. But you look at what he's provided for players around him, has been fantastic. That's an ambitious pass that's gone into touch. And we've seen Warrington one half of their game for 10 minutes. That's the attacking side. Now we're going to see whether they can defend.
It was a very ambitious pass, this, from Lee Breers. Great offload from Morley, but then...
It was on, though, Eddie. You could see there that Gardner was caught about 3 metres off the touchline. He's a thinker all the time, Lee Breers. OK, it wasn't the best pass. Nothing that King could do about it, but he would have been... Oh, they've won it against the head. It's play on.
Well, how on earth did that shoot out of the scrum on Warrington's side of the field? Don't tell me they hooked it, Steve-o, did they?
It's amazing. I think they did. They did. Oh, my heart. It's skipping a beat.
Well, it's all happening in the playoffs already. Look at that. John Clark.
Oh, dearie me.
But then Carvel comes up with a blunder. But Clark, the hooker, hooked the ball. Headlines.
Yeah, it won't be headlines for Carvel, though. It was a big hit from Bryn Hargreaves. He knows that's a golden opportunity there, but I must say, Warrington...
He's laughing, John Clark, at that scrum, isn't it?
He's saying, yeah, I'll do it again.
This will go behind the second row.
That nearly went to the fullback.
Here is Wilkin. Now then, Wilkin will play it to Gidley, who find Hargreaves, following McPotter to Bradford Bulls next year. Bryn Hargreaves, Cunningham is there, retiring at the end of the year. Now it's Matty Smith. He gets it away to Soliola. Warrington muscling up in defence again. Cunningham. Pulatua.
These are the right tactics by Saints. They don't need to come up with anything fancy. They've got to make sure they get over the advantage line. They've got a good kicking game themselves.
Graham gets the ball back to Matty Smith. Here is John Wilkin. Now it's Gidley again. Gidley surrounded by 3. Monaghan was there. So too Riley, so too Atkins. Last tackle here for Saints. Kick from Smith. Bouncing everywhere. Off the post. Who's touchdown? Wellens is claiming it.
It's a try.
Is claiming it.
He's going to find out if Wellens is offside to start with. But I think it's okay. Now, Smith puts the boot to ball. Everybody looks okay there. Now Wellens goes sailing through. Yeah, that's okay. Different angle. Watch Wellens. He's gone without it. He says, oh, I've missed my opportunity. And then, thank you. I think that's a try.
Was there a knock-on, though? Initially, when the ball hits the post, comes back onto Wellens. Was there any contact before that?
I don't think...
At this point, is there any contact between Wellens and the ball?
No. This is try time. Beautiful kick. Well, Matty Smith, they thought it was a big gamble bringing him back, but the kick has proved superb. It hits the padding on the post.
No knock on there.
No, this is try time.
You're happy with the touchdown? You're happy with the downward pressure?
So am I.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm asking you, I'm not asking the video ref.
I don't think the Warrington hand gets to it. We'll see it here. He misses it. That's try time. And I think that's the first ever try that Wellens has scored in any of the playoffs.
But he's not managed to try in 27 previous attempts in the playoffs. Has he managed one now? I'm not so sure. That's a glance, isn't it? Is that a try?
That's all you need to do is glance. Watch this. Warrington player misses it. Wellens doesn't. To me, that's downward pressure. That's TR wide. The Saints are back in it. Surely they'll convert this. There'll only be 2 minutes after this.
Ian Smith says, tries the Saints. Wellens punches the air. 27 playoff appearances. First try for Paul Wellens. He's won man of the matches at Old Trafford. But there's his first try, and how vital that might be, because the conversion to come will reduce the deficit to 2. Paul Wellens, Dream Team fullback, 4th time in 6 seasons, tries in the last 2 games, 3 of the last 4, but a bit of playoff history for him here.
Ideal tactics in wet weather, but it was pinpointed at the post. The padding did the rest. And you could see the look of horror on Paul Wellens' face when he skims past it and he says, oh, I've missed a golden opportunity, and then it comes again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. He did. This do.
Jamie Foster adds the extras. Saints 6, Warrington 8. Well, how long have we been playing? About a quarter of an hour? If the playoffs are going to be like this till Sunday night and beyond, Justin, worth the money.
Certainly, a fantastic play here from Matty Smith. Great kick, great reaction from Paul Wellens. We've seen some fantastic tries already, but I would say that during these playoff series, the teams that are going to do well are going to have to defend well. Phil's already touched on it. Not only defend well, but be able to defend back-to-back sets and defend kicks. The teams that do that the best are going to be the teams that are going to be successful.
What an impact in the opening 15 minutes from Matty Smith. Salford, all the way through this season on loan. He was brilliant for Salford against St Helens when we saw them at the Willows earlier this year, and immediately he has left his mark on the playoff series.
And we get back to the certain tactics. You know, the weather is very bad, the rain's pelting down. I said that Saints, instead of playing all fancy, and that's great work by Cunningham. He knew exactly what he was going to do, and he knew he was going to pinpoint him, and he has looked out Ben Harrison and Morley and said, you didn't get back to 10. It's worth 10 points every time he just runs out on the field, Cunningham.
Well, Morley was invited to touch him, and he accepted.
But getting back to that point, Eddie, they're not trying to be fancy, St Helens. They know they've got the hard work. They work, ground it through, and the kick did the rest.
Here's Cunningham, back it comes to Smith. Short ball then.
Quicker.
Good. Solid run, Tony Smith. Was slightly more concerned than he was a few minutes ago. Here is Matty Smith again. Taking it on, taking the Warrington defence on. Cunningham waits again. Fires the pass under the post to Hargreaves. Warrington muscle up. Bring him down. John Clark was there. Cunningham gets it away. They dropped it. James Graham's dropped it under pressure.
Well, he scored quite a few tries by spinning as soon as he gets the ball. And it does confuse the defence, but on that occasion just went without it slightly. A little bit of a let-off. Watch him twist. He just couldn't keep hold of it. It's a play he's utilised over the last couple of years.
James Graham, 25 years of age today. And his clash with the Warrington forwards, in particular the man just playing the ball who gets the penalty for Warrington, Adrian Morley, will be crucial to the outcome tonight.
Well, this is a big decision here. The hand on the ball, slowing it down. St Helens had Warrington a little worried, I think, at that point there. They applied some pressure, and it was a question of whether Warrington could go with them here. But they're up over the halfway line, in possession again with 6 more plays. And a strong carry by Ryan Atkins. Look at that. 11, 12 metre gain.
Yes, good run from Atkins.
The other point, Eddie, as well, that Tony Smith will be fully aware of is the opportunity both those conversions missed. So vital in these big games. Get those 2 points extra.
Clark, who has lost the ball forward. Saints have passed it away, so that's the advantage over. Even though they're behind where the incident took place. This is Gardner. They get the penalty though, St Helens, for offside.
It's amazing how it can just turn around. Warrington, Cockahoo, 2 quick tries. Beautiful hands out on that right-hand side, both to Matt King. And then they lose their marbles. Lost the plot slightly. Too eager to get off the mark. Well spotted by the official.
Shame that the rain has come to start the playoffs in 2010, but it's doing nothing really to dampen the enthusiasm of players and supporters. Not the best conditions at the moment. Was threatened that this would come. Now it's great ball there from Matty Smith to Soliola. Warrington had it all on then to halt him. Morley with the tackle. Wilkin, Pulatua. Down he goes on tackle number 4, about 14-15 metres away from the Warrington line. Here is Hargreaves, back it comes to Wilkin. Wilkin then to the ground, but picked up by Wellens, who keeps it going. This is Paul Clough. And Clough is halted by the Warrington defence. Chris Bridge, last tackle here. Cunningham. Matty Smith, another little dab to the in-goal area. Well picked up. Oh! Clattered into the in-goal area. Richie Mathers, who would be a rugby league fullback.
Well, he certainly didn't dip out on it, did he? Beautiful kick. Well weighted by Matty Smith. And he led the charge as well. Again, great tactics. How's that? Fullback, bang, straight in.
I think Matty Smith almost came off worse there.
Oh. Soliola and Smith, the combination.
Tell you what, it's a great opportunity tonight for Matty Smith to show St Helens what they're going to be missing over the next couple of years. And he's taking full advantage of that. There's a massive hit now from Morley on Wilkin.
Oh, he said it was a knock-on. But crowd thought it was. Not according to Richard Silverwood. It was a bit of a messy play, the ball.
Cunningham gives it to Pulatua.
That's the biggest problem when you want to try to get on with it as quickly as possible. That could have been a penalty. That could have been deemed that Wilkin has actually played that ball forward, not backwards.
Here's Wilkin. Again, this time he plays it correctly to Cunningham. Now it's Flannery. And he goes down on the last tackle. Cunningham is in there again at dummy half and he's coming down the short side on his own. Cunningham! Oh, he's done it again! Kieran Cunningham has done it again! 494 games. The man of the moment last Saturday with his try. Won the game effectively, won the match here tonight against Warrington with that try under the sticks. And he just picked that up and he just wheeled and swiveled his way to the line. Kieran Cunningham, his debut against Warrington in 1994. This is his 16th try against the Wolves in as many years.
Completely confused the Warrington defence. The defence thought that he was going to go for another kick from Matty Smith. He threw the dummy. Get on the dance floor. This is superb. Cha-cha, Walls, call it whatever you like, but it's worth 4 points. And as Eddie has mentioned, the hero, the King Cunningham, has done it again. Warrington was going right. They were screaming to take on the kick from Matty Smith. Cunningham has conjured up another.
Well, it just gets better and better, doesn't it, for Cunningham? He's 33 years of age. He has said that this is his last season. I noted, actually, a little perhaps wavering of the view last week. For the first time when he was interviewed after the match, he said, I'm going to miss this game. I wonder, I suppose if the new stadium was ready for this time next year, he might change his mind. But what do you think, Phil?
Well, I thought fairy tales were reserved for children's bedtime stories, but sometimes in sport they do happen. It was great last weekend for Cunningham to get it, and who knows what will happen tonight.
Super. Look at the defence. They think it's going out that wide. Oh, no, it isn't. Watch the dummy. They take it, and he's in. The glory boy. Look at the crowd. They've gone berserk.
That's off the knees of Wellens, and it went over the whitewash. The kick-off causing a whole lot of problems for the St Helens full-back. Foster missed the conversions you saw, by the way, but Saints lead 10-8 here, and there is the ball over the line. It's a knock-on anyway, even if it doesn't actually go over the line, but it hits the line anyway. Gidley knocks it onto the line, so it's head and feed to Warrington at this scrum. And here is Clark. He finds Atkins.
Well, they'll be very relieved with the Wolves. They haven't had much possession over the last 10 minutes.
Here's Morley. Clark at dummy half. Monaghan hangs on. Harrison doesn't.
Not the best by Ben Harrison. No advantage. Tried that short blind side. Wouldn't be to the liking of Tony Smith. Nothing wrong with the pass. He just had a little bit of a look to see who was coming at him. Can't afford that at this level, especially in wet conditions. And you can see that it really is bouncing down now.
Yes, but this is playoff conditions, isn't it? Can only remember a couple of grand finals that have been dry.
And Warrington are struggling with the conditions. I think that's 4 handling errors now in possession. I know the weather is bad, but their opponents aren't coming up with a similar type mistakes, and very soon they're going to have to turn that around, because if they continue to concede possession and offer up the ball to their opponents, we've seen what mood St Helens are in. Cunningham just leaves the field.
Warrington only their 5th playoff series. They missed out last year when they finished 10th. But they made sure this year that the distraction of Wembley wasn't going to knock them off the Old Trafford path. Kick all the way down the line into the arms of Mathers, and a sensational chase by St Helens.
And again, their tactics are very, very strong indeed. There's been nothing fancy. And really, Warrington, after that 2-try blitz in the opening 5 minutes, they really should take a leaf out of what Saints have done and go back to basics, use the big forwards, get over the advantage, just try to pressurise.
Don't seem to be able to get Matty Smith out of my mind when you think he was looking at the possibility of a wooden spoon with Salford a couple of weeks ago. Now here he is tonight, eyeing the possibility of a place at Old Trafford in the grand final. Of such things, legends are made. Breers, that's a lovely drop of the shoulder, but he's caught in possession on the last. He's complaining about something, Lee Breers. Having a right old go at Richard Silverwood.
Well, I don't know whether he's confused or whether Silverwood is confused, but I think Breers was trying to say, well, I thought that was only the 4.
Maybe he's complaining that a player was taken out on the other side of him without the ball. He was looking for a penalty. Watch Ben Westwood here, Steve. He's the runner. He was actually, but he got a flap off Melly.
He pulled it away, Melly. There was no chance of interference. He realised that he could have given a penalty away, and that's why he dropped the arm. Okay,
Matty Smith, that's a great kick. He's gone for a 40-20.
He's got it.
Got the 40-20. Matty Smith.
Well, you said it, Eddie, before the kick-off. It wouldn't surprise me if Matty Smith comes out as the man of the match. And at the moment, you've got to say, he's odds-on favourite.
What a 26 minutes he's had, and look at what it means to him. He might be Salford bound, he mightn't have played here for 2 years, but tonight he's got a St Helens heart beating inside him.
And 1 in every 3 or 4 40-20s converted into a try. This is a great opportunity here now. The classy side can convert this into points.
It's the psychological boost that you get from a 40-20 that makes a team, you know, grow some energy, and that's why you see so many tries scored after 40-20s.
There's Roby for St Helens. It's Gidley who's the dummy half. Now it's Jake Emmett, playoff debut. He missed last week, but sub in the previous 6. He was lifted off the ground then.
And that should have been a penalty.
Here's Roby. Thought about smuggling it back to Clough, thought better of it.
Well, they're getting confused at the Wolves. They've got to sort themselves out.
It's the St Helens factor, Steve-O.
Well, no, they're having a good old, you know, complain, and they're whinging to the referee all the time.
It's the St Helens factor. They know the record. They know the record against Saints. This is Graham. Here is Smith. Now it's Wilkin. Flannery takes over. Foster wanted that ball out wide.
Oh, he nearly went over there. They nearly dragged him through. Good job that Atkins had ball and all.
Matty Smith again. Another little kick. Beauty! Well fielded though by Bridge, but another set of 6 for St Helens. It's working out for Mick Potter.
Super kick, applying the pressure. There's nothing fancy about this. These are just tactics that come with the weather. You just look through the book and say, it says when it's slippy and when it's wet, you put the grubber kick down. We haven't seen a kick high yet. Why would you in these conditions?
Jake Emmett will run it back as far as Paul Wood.
Oh, and didn't he give it to him? Shoulder to shoulder.
And now Wood lying on with Solomona on his back, and St Helens get the penalty for holding down. Look, the Warrington players, the Warrington coach will tell you that this record that they have against St Helens doesn't enter their psyche. I bet you £1 million it does.
You got that much?
Well, I'd go to the bank.
You get a loan, okay, you get a loan.
Well, it's, what is it, 0.5% interest, isn't it?
Listen, I've been to his
Hey, I'll
mansion.
win the bet anyway.
I've been to your mansion. I know what it's worth.
Oh, dear.
This now is Roby. Clough is held. Down he goes, but Saints 9 metres away. Roby. Smith again. Gets the pass away. It's Roby. And here's Melly. Warrington muscling up in defence. That goal line defence that brought them such rewards at Wembley. Here is Matty Smith. Back it comes to Wellens. Over the top. On the bounce to Foster. He's knocked it on.
Golden opportunity as well. Because that long pass that caught out the Warrington defence on that left-hand side in defence line. The beautiful offload from Wellens. Okay, not intended, but you can see Foster just could not take it. Riley had gone in. He'd gone in looking for the intercept, and there was a big opening, and he knows it, does this youngster.
Well done, touch judge. Well done, referee.
No, silly stuff. Okay.
Jamie Foster in sensational form.
James, I've got it.
11. He's averaging 11 points per game. 5 tries in his last 4 in Super League, young Foster.
Well done, touch judge and referee. It has been a long season. It's getting to you.
Solomona going nowhere.
Hold. Hold.
Mathers dummy half this time.
Well, after the blitz, the opening blitz by Warrington, you'd have to say now that St Helens, what we expected, that if you're going to win this game, you're going to do it with the forwards, and they have done it superbly so far.
Here's a penalty for Warrington now, holding down Clough and Emmett.
Discipline.
Lads, move means move, come on.
You'd have to say that that is going to be crucial, this discipline from either side. Both coaches know it. 2 fine Australian coaches, fully aware of what defence and discipline can do.
Here's Atkins again for Warrington.
First.
8-0 up now, 10-8 down.
That's you, Ryan.
Clark. Wood.
Well, this
Tries
player,
it in again.
this next play, Eddie, will be the one that they shift something on. This is traditionally where they go big.
Monaghan and Breers and Solomona puts it down. You were nearly right.
Well, they did go big.
Yeah.
But luckily, St Helens, their defence was up to it.
And again, top-class professional, taking his eye off the football.
Well, do you know, Eddie, I wonder whether they're a warm-weather team. To win the Challenge Cup, you win that in good weather. To win the Grand Final, you sometimes need to be able to play in these conditions. And St Helens showed, didn't they, over the last 5 years or so, their success in summer rugby unparalleled. And yet, when you get to this time of the year, it needs a different skill and a different mindset.
Swinging out from Westwood.
Yeah, a bit of frustration, I think, from Ben Westwood.
No doubt about it. Eddie Gardner would have felt that, and he would perhaps, Westwood, feel the wrath of the coach Tony Smith, because they really have not settled down after that two-try blitz.
Well, Saints claimed their 6th consecutive top 2 finish in dramatic style last Saturday. They played more playoff matches than any other club, 30. They've won 19. They embark on their campaign this year hoping to emulate Bradford. 5 consecutive grand finals, 2001, 2005. Wouldn't back against them. This is Flannery.
Go.
Roby.
Great work from Roby. 15 metres gained there. This should be a good kick.
It's with Smith. It is a good kick. It's into open space. The chase is on. It's bouncing everywhere. Oh, now then.
No, it's got over. They were just touched too late. He'll go upstairs, will he?
No, he's given the goal line dropout. Oh, has he? Hang on.
I think he's going to go. He'll have to go to the screen for this one.
No, he's given the goal line dropout. I think he's got it right because Westwood touched it first.
The ball was already over the dead ball line, wasn't it?
Well, it's touched.
Yeah, it's over the line.
I think Matt King gets a touch to it.
But are the St Helens players' feet in play?
Yeah, that could be a knock-on. But I think that Matt King touches the ball first, so everybody's onside. But I'm with you, Philip. I thought a St Helens man just got a hand to it before it. They did over the whitewash. Either way, we've got the game restarted. Not a bad dropout. Boy, 60 metres downfield.
Graham runs it back at them. Just slowing the ball down a bit at the moment, Warrington. Maybe feeling the pinch.
Well, I think
a long season for them. They haven't had a break, of course, since week 1.
I think the forwards are ready because the knock on there by Roby of all people, and he knows it as well because they are just pummeling down the middle as St Helens, and Graham said a few things.
No, I think it was Louis Anderson just pulled him back by the shirt collar, and then Graham didn't like it. He's an angry young man, James Graham, isn't he?
I love him for it.
I do.
We could do with 13 of these.
Come on, lads.
See, Anderson, he says, well, what's all that all about? In his best scouse.
None of that silly stuff. Come on,
Is
lads.
that a best scout?
As everything is a best scouse, you're absolutely right.
Well, you should know. You used to be one.
Still am.
You're kidding. You're the snob now.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nice and calm, lads. Come on. Hey then. Okay. Time back on. Out.
It's Warrington's head and feed. This is King.
First move.
2 tries from Matt King early. Gave Warrington an early lead. Breers has gone for a 40-20 a la Wembley. Just didn't have the legs there. Gardner picks it up. Westwood picks up Gardner.
Oh, that's silly. He could have been penalised there. Westwood did everything right. Great chase. And then nearly got the referee to blow the whistle. I thought for one moment there Silver was going to have a look at it.
Justin, because of the volume of handling errors and the conditions, would you encourage your side to kick and get to the other end of the field?
Yeah, field position plays a much more important role in wet weather rugby league. I'm not sure if that was the right decision from Lee Breers, considering they haven't had the ball for a great deal of time to kick the ball on the second tackle, but certainly kicking is such an important part, and you'd want to do it nice and early after a good fast play of the ball to win the territory.
Good run there from Clough. That was Roby. Here is Wilkin. That flicked off a Warrington hand, I think. It did. The really touch judges pointed that out to the referee. Head and feed to Saints.
Good work down that short blind side. Another teasing kick was played at. Yep. Definitely went for it. More pressure.
Keep holding them tens.
And with Justin Morgan. Warrington really need to keep this ball for some period of time. They failed to do that.
Gidley for St Helens. It's the early throes of autumn, but it is a warm and sultry night here at Nosey Road, despite the rain. It's almost tropical rain that we're getting.
I've got my coat up.
This is Roby. Back it comes to Matty Smith on the inside to Wellens. Some great moves surrounding Matty Smith, considering he's only been training with the club since start of the week. And Graham will score! James Graham for St Helens. 25th birthday try for the England international. Tries home and away against Warrington last year. Try last week against Castleford. 6 on the board now for 2010. James Graham edges St Helens further ahead. And the crowd singing there's only one James Graham. And there is. Let's hope the Aussies and Kiwis know about that later this year.
Well, it didn't work, did it, before when he dropped the ball, but they got the look at the bounce. It was a a hand that got to it. They got the second set of 6, but on that occasion he twisted and they had no answer for him. He went high, he went underneath, and boy, the scouts will love that.
James Graham, tremendous try from him. Arguably the best prop forward in the competition. The Warrington fans are suddenly glum. They were dancing and singing after 10 minutes. It's St Helens, they're playing.
Well, territorial advantage is a benefit in any invasion sport, and St Helens, by invading their opponent's territory twice as often as Warrington, are clearly the dominant side. They've had 40 play the balls inside their opponent's half of the field, as opposed to Warrington, who've only been up to the left-hand end of your screen 20 times, and that's a significant difference half an hour or so into a game.
Warrington had a blistering start for 10 minutes. They led 8-0, but now it's the Saints who are ahead by 16 points to 8. 16 unanswered points after an opening 10-minute nightmare for Saints.
Watch how it twists as soon as he gets the ball. Underneath, he's a very difficult man to stop in any position, but when you're twisting and going down like that, boy, they love him here, and they've every right to it. 7 years, and he has given us all. But I must say, the tries, Eddie, they've come about by sheer hard work with the forwards. It's very uncharacteristic of this St Helens side, but they are playing to the conditions superbly.
Paul Clough for Saints. They've lost the last 3 Old Trafford showpieces, St Helens. They've won 4 grand finals in all, and Kieran Cunningham, though he's not on the field at the moment, he has played in each and every one of them, and every playoff game as well. Here's Roby. That bounced off Monaghan. Penalty.
Going for offside.
I think it was accidental first off, and then he
had another go at it.
Yes. Now, will they go for 2 points here, Saints?
Wouldn't surprise me, you know, Eddie. Just calm things down. Yep. They know they've got an 8-point lead. They can stretch it to 10. Well,
very handy that as you approach half-time.
They looked in all sorts of bother, didn't they, St Helens? But the way that the forwards and the way that Mick Potter has changed them around, you know, they've shared the work. They haven't just put the workload, Phil, on one man like James Graham. All the young kids are doing.
I think the fans think this is a bit rugby union-esque. They've started to swing low, sweet chariots, and it is unusual for St Helens with 2 minutes to go to kick a goal before half-time, but I guess we're going to see a relatively low-scoring match, and if Foster can put 2 more points on the scoreboard here, it'll lift the roof and certainly send St Helens in even happier.
Yes, it's not an unassailable lead, 10, is it? But it is very important on a night like this, in conditions like this, with the stakes so high. Young Jamie Foster there. We didn't know anything about him at the start of the season. 20 years of age. Oh, in off the post. Could be St Helens night, you know. It could be. Injury ravaged they might be. But listen to the names of the try scorers. The big guns. Helens, Cunningham, Graham, and young Foster with the boot.
Well, I think Warrington are psychologically shot here at this point. I think with a minute or so to go, they would have more often than not, Warrington, set this up and want to get the ball back into play, but they seem content here to wait for a half-time break, and I was a little surprised. Maybe the ghosts of what have happened previously, some of them still mentally scarred from defeat on this ground.
It's the Saints factor, Phil. Where's me million?
Well, the funny
You've not had the loan approved yet.
The funny thing is, Eddie, that you know, some sarcastic St Helens fan will probably open. This is the penalty, and he's got it right. The referee's got it right, but I'm just making the point that some sarcastic Saint fella will open the Warrington door, roll the ball in, and say, "This is what you're going to play with," because they haven't had it for the last 25 minutes.
Could have been a grapple tackle by Cooper. Here is Roby. 25 seconds to half-time. Cunningham's not on the field, but this was the moment last weekend at the end of the match when Cunningham came up trumps.
We might get a bomb on this occasion. No, they've gone for position.
Wilkin will just drill it into touch and say, that'll do, that'll settle it down. 10 points, half-time lead, that'll do. They're walking off. The siren hasn't sounded yet, but they know that's the end of the first half. to get together to leave the field together.